Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Umineko When They Cry. So pretty much last episode, the Oshiromiya family, right, they started gathering and they were heading to Rokinjima and now everyone is here. So I guess it begins, right? Our story really begins today. So let us continue. Every year, the relatives visiting Rokinjima would let out a sigh of admiration at the rose garden that first greeted them. They would stop there to chat about the roses' beauty and how well they were blooming that year. In the midst of all this, there was a single unhealthy rose and Maria became overwhelmed with dejection at its condition. But George used his quick wits and saying that everything would be fine if they took care of this poor thing, marked it with a candy wrapper and immediately restored Maria's good mood. Then Butler, with whom she'd been getting along well since that morning, started talking about Halloween. So I guess the scenes here are pretty much the same scenes from the episode 1, right? So yeah, they didn't show it anymore. They just did a little recap, right? This was such a favorite topic of Maria's that began playing around energetically again. To Maria, that marshmallow jack-o'-lantern candy bought by her mom was probably the greatest sort of treasure. They seemed to have bought several and she demanded a trick or treat from every person she met, giving them candy instead of the other way around.
マリアはどうしてこんなにハロウィンが好きなんだろうな。日本人には一つ馴染みにくいイベントだと思ってたんだが。
仮装行列で練り歩く子供のお祭りだからじゃねえのか。普段と違う格好をしてはしゃぎ合うってのは楽しいぜ。
多分僕はもう少しディープな理由によるものだと思うな。何しろ魔女のマリアちゃんだからね。
そういや、飛行場でもマリアは仮装するなら魔女になりたいって言っていたっけ。マリアって魔女が好きなんだ。
ええ、大好きよ。困ったくらいに。
まあまあ、あのくらいの年頃はファンタジックな存在に憧れるもんですから。
せめてテレビアニメのヒロインに憧れるくらいなら可愛いんだけど。
Judging by Rose's appearance, she wasn't very happy about her daughter's love for witches. As a mother, the cousins, other than Butler, seemed to realize this and they shrugged, wearing stiff smiles.
魔女好きだとハロウィンも好きになるって論法なのか。わかんなきゃ本人に聞けばいいか。おいマリア、ハロウィンと魔女って何か関係あるのか。
As Butler asked that, George and Jessica let out a stifled ah, as if they were trying to stop him, but too late. Maria might have been waiting for just that question. After beaming for an instant, her expression turned a little mean, as if to say, "You're totally clueless, aren't you?" It was the face of a hobbyist who's been tricked off by an outsider, or ticked off, by an outsider saying something stupid about their favorite subject.
ケルト人は1年間を通じてその勢いを変える太陽は1年を通して生まれ育ち老いて死んでそして再び蘇ると考えていたの。
納得だな。春のか弱いポカポカした太陽がどんどん成長して暑いくらいになり、次第に痩せ衰えていく様をなるほど太陽の一生と考えるのもうなずけるぜ。
だから彼らは10月の最後に太陽は死に、死の国で体を休めて冬至の日に再び蘇ると考えたの。それで太陽が1年の生涯を終えて死ぬその日を大晦日サビンと呼んでお祝いしたの。
再び日照時間が長くなりだす冬至の日を 太陽の復活の日とする考え方はとても面白いよね。古代の人々がいかに太陽を神聖視していたかがわかるエピソードだよ。
で、それが魔女とどう関係があるんだ？
It seemed that my casual urging forward had slightly infuriated Maria. She glared at me with eyes that told me to shut up while she explained. Maria seemed to be having a blast as she talked, so I decided not to interrupt.
10月と11月の狭間は生と死が最も近くなる。ケルト人たちはこの時期に聖者の世界と死者やこの世ならざる者の世界が最も近づき、異界の住人たちがたくさん訪れると信じてたの。日本でいうお盆みたいなものだよ。
At the time, people believed that souls returning to the physical world would go into people's houses or possess people and do bad things. So in order to avoid harm, they performed rituals. One of those was to imitate creepy monsters and scare the souls back, which was apparently a way to avoid being possessed.
その部分がお祭りになっていって仮装行列になってったんだな。マリアは本当に物知りだぜ。
ほんまやな。わしもハロウィンに備えな言われがあるなんて知らんかったわ。
しかしそれのどこにお菓子をくれなきゃいたずらしちゃうぞってのが出てくるんだ？
Her knowledge was so extensive that the adults had suddenly started listening to. Maria, who was normally treated like the youngest all the time, puffed out her chest with pride. Saying that this was just a kids' discussion, Rosa suggested that the adults go on ahead and set their luggage down in the guest house. But nobody else agreed to go with her, and she let out a heavy sigh.
トリックオアトリートは単なるお遊び。本来のケルト人たちの儀式とは何の関係もない。それは後にキリスト教の習慣が混合してできたものなの。でもマリアは本来のハロウィンの姿とはそうあるべきだと思うの。
According to Maria, the souls of the dead weren't the only ones who visited from the non-human world. There were also spirits with intimate connections to people's lives. Humans could receive favors from those spirits, so they'd manage to gain magnificent blessings, as well as a year's worth of good crops.
つまりハロウィンってのは収穫祭の意味も少しはあったわけか。
なるほどな。言われてみりゃ10月ってのは季節的にも色々節目って気がするぜ。日本の4月のちょうど反対側だもんな。なるほど。キリはいいかもしれねえな。
そしてね、魔女たちはね、その時期に魔女集会サバトを開いたの。魔女たちは豊かな恵みをもたらしてくれた精霊たちに感謝しねぎらったの。
ハロウィンの仮装は向こうから来る客人たちの模倣。つまり彼らにお菓子を施すのは一年の収穫への感謝の気持ちがあってもいいわけだね。
ジョージお兄ちゃんの言う通り。
つまりハロウィンはこの世とあの世の交流のある時期ってわけなんだな。それでつまり魔女たちにとってはそういう世界の客人たちと交流できる大切な機会だったと、そう言いたいわけか？
バトラの言う通り。だからね魔女たちや悪魔たちの力が最も活発で盛んになるのが10月なの。
I like how Maria is she's just happy while talking about this. It's not like the other Maria talking, right? Like the sinister Maria. It's just her, basically. And yeah, she's normal, but she's pretty much confident when she's talking. Unlike when it's the sinister one, right? always laughing, snickering, or mocking people, right? This one is just, yeah, normal Maria, but her voice is much more straightened out and just happy explaining all of this about the Halloween stuff.
きっとベアトリーチェも来てくれる。そしてね、一緒にマシュマロお菓子食べて、マリアも黄金鏡に連れてってもらうの。一緒に魔法のお歌を歌って、魔法の呪文を習って、魔法陣の書き方を習うの。そしてね、ルーンの秘密を習って、早く早くマリアを立派な魔女にしてもらうの。
Okay, why it stopped?
あらあら、それは素敵ね。
Here she comes, this woman.
子供は夢があるのが一番よ。ところでローザ、マリアちゃんは今年でいくつになったんだったかしら？
マリア、もうそのお話は終わりにしなさい。
気にしないでローザさん。女の子なら誰だって一度は思い描く夢じゃない。
I guess Ava is just, I mean, Ava is usually just mocking people, right? And just, yeah, asking Rosa about Maria's age because Maria is talking like this, right?
ありがとうございます。でももう、マリアはそういう年を卒業していますので。こら、やめなさいと言ってるでしょ。
She's gonna get angry again. Rosa scolded Maria, trying to shut her up before her cheery discussion about black magic earned her the snickers of the relatives.
へえ、そいつはなんだかスケールのでかい話だな。ところで、ベアトリーチェって誰だっけ？なんだっけ？聞いた名前だな。
Butler had been gone for 6 years and had completely forgotten about the legend of the Rokkenjima witch. So yeah, so this butler here, right, the one, yeah, we're looking at right now, he doesn't know anything about this, right? But yeah, then we have a butler and the Beatrice, the one we saw in the ending of last episode, right? They were talking, right? So how does that work, right? I hope they explain it easily so I can understand, right? How does that work, right? Like, does the butler on the other side controls what this butler does, etc, etc. I mean, obviously the memories are not there, yeah, because he doesn't know who Beatrice is, right? But yeah, maybe the actions of the characters, maybe they can control, like Butler can control Butler, right? Probably like that, maybe. However, when he said he didn't know Beatrice's name, Maria's once brightened mood soured in an instant. When he saw that, Butler immediately remembered that it was the name of the witch of this island, but the damage had been done. Until Maria's mood improved, she went on and on about many mysterious and fabulous episodes regarding the Golden Witch.
もうよしなさい、マリア。ありがとうね、バトラ君。お話に付き合ってくれて。カノン君、お仕事があるんでしょ？もう行ってちょうだい。ゴーダさん、みんなとりあえず荷物を置きたがってると思うの。悪いんだけど、みんなをゲストハウスへ案内してくれるかしら。
かしこまりました。
ゴーダさん。
それでは皆様、ゲストハウスへご案内いたします。
それでは失礼いたします。
Goda led the relatives and they began to head towards the guest house. They were eager to set down their luggage and take a breather, so they didn't realize that Rosa and Maria weren't coming with them. She's gonna scold her again. After watching them leave towards the guest house, Rosa's face changed suddenly. She let go with a hand. She let go with the hand that had been gripping Maria this whole time. There was a bright red mark there, making it clear how much excessive force she had been using on Maria's slender arm. Because yeah, she doesn't want to be, I guess, embarrassed. Because yeah, you look at what do you call this, Ava, right? Asking her, what age is Maria again? Like that simple question, you could interpret like Ava saying, how old is Maria again, and why is she talking like this, and why is she talking about this and that? And yeah, it made Rosa furious. Oh, Again, that hand then slapped against Maria's head, pinched her left ear and lifted.
魔女の話はするなといつも言ってるでしょうが。それはママとの約束だといつも言っているでしょ。ママ痛い。ママ痛い。痛い痛い。ハロウィンうるさいのよあんたは。魔女のお祭り？ケルト人が何よ、黒魔術が何よ、バカじゃないの。あんた9歳よ9歳。電車であんなに騒ぐからわざわざ電車降りてまでその蛍光塗料みたいな気持ち悪いお化けマシュマロを買ってやったのよ。遅刻してまであんたに買ってやったのよ。あんたどこまで私の顔を潰せば気が済むのよ。
As Rosa cursed, she twisted Maria's ear up, almost as though she was about to tear it off. An expression of anguish across Maria's face while she frantically stood on her tiptoes, trying to soften the pain in that ear. Rosa suddenly grabbed the candy that Maria had been holding. It's so easy for Rosa to get super angry, right? It's so easy. She threw it on the ground and then stepped on it over and over. To Maria, it was supposed to be proof of a memory of a brief span of time when her mother had bought something fun for her. Yeah, pretty much, a couple episodes back, it was, last episode, I mean, it was, they were Rosa's hitting Maria, and then Rosa said sorry, right? And then they made up. She bought her candy, and now they're fighting again like this. Like, come on, man. But now the same mother was grinding it into the ground right in front of her. And then guess what later? Rosa's gonna say, Maria, sorry. My god, never ends. It was as though a brand had been pushed into Maria's eyes, leaving a mark that could never be erased.
こんな気持ち悪いお菓子が何よ。気持ち悪い。あんたがそんなんだから。気持ち悪い。
Wishing it's because you're like that. As she said that, she struck Maria's head over and over again with her palm. Like, is she blaming Maria, I guess? Maybe yes, she was the reason why Maria's dad probably left, right? Maybe she's blaming Maria. That's why whenever Maria does something like that, she's instantly triggered, right? She didn't hit Maria's face because her red swelling would stand out. Maria closed her eyes tightly, patiently bearing her mother's violence. No, that wasn't quite it. She wants her mom back, yeah. The one who's caring for her. She kept bearing Rosa's assault, muttering that over and over. Rosa, tired from hitting her daughter, breathed so hard her shoulders shook. Maria grasped her hands together, withstanding it, hoping her mother would return soon. After hurling those words at Maria, Rosa left in the direction of the guest house, leaving Maria behind. Maria, forgetting even that it was okay to cry, kept staring down at the jack-o'-lantern candy that had been trampled beyond recognition. I mean, it's kind of sad for Maria as well. Yeah, even though like sometimes she acts like, hey, last episode, right? In the ending, episode 1, like she was so different there, like so creepy. But it's very just.
Rosa.
It's so sad when you see scenes with her mom like this, right? Like it's much more harder seeing those scenes than, for example, a character dying, right? Yeah. For some reason, it's just so hard to hear.
どこ行ってたの？
バラが素敵だったもので、ついつい。
ローザ、早く荷物を置いてこいよ。兄貴んとこへ挨拶に行こうぜ。
兄貴？
ん？マリアちゃんはどうしたんや？まだ花壇におるんかいな。
ええ。気に入ったバラがあるみたいで、世話をするって言って聞かなくて。しばらくは好きにさせることにしました。
女の子には女の子の世界があったことを、私たちはたまに忘れるわ。時には尊重してあげないとね。
そうね。お気遣いをありがとう、キリエ姉さん。ゴーダさん。私たちの部屋はどこ？
ご案内いたします。こちらでございます。お荷物をお持ちいたしましょう。
結構よ。自分で持てます。ありがとう。
Rosa went into her room, guided by Goda. She then closed the door somewhat violently and threw her luggage on top of the bed. She got down on her knees in front of her bed, burying her face in it. For a while, Rosa made it as if to shred the sheets with her fingernails, sobbing constantly. Are we ever gonna even get like a background, right? To Maria's dad? I wanna see that. Like even just a glimpse of it, right? Like a small glimpse on why that person is not here. Did he leave? What happened?
大丈夫ですか?
Cannon appeared from behind a ticket after watching Rosa leave.
平気だよ。
Maria gave a creepy laugh, but to Kanan, who had seen the whole thing, it looked like she was enduring as best as she could. Yeah, Maria can be like this, yes, like creepy, annoying, but I just don't want to see the scenes again. Yeah, with Rosa hitting her like that. It's just, unnerving? Is that the word? But yeah, I don't want to see those scenes again.
最低のやつだ。あれで母親なんて。
仕方ないよ。その程度の器にはその程度のが入り込む。マリアは全然平気だよ。
Kanon got down on his knees and picked up the trampled candy. It was tragic just looking at it. He thought about dusting it off and turning it to her, but really couldn't do so with it in that condition. Just as he was wondering what to do, he met Maria's gaze. No, that wasn't quite right. Maria was looking at the candy Kanon had picked up. Right now, Maria's heart was surely the same as the candy that had been trampled into pulp. Kanon realized this but didn't know what he should do.
そうだ。さっき僕がもらったのと交換してあげるよ。
Oh, did he get a candy already? Kanon remembered that a similar candy he received from Maria was in his pocket. Maria stuck out her hand. Kanon thought she was trying to take it, so he held out the candy, but Maria didn't try to grasp it. Then Kanon realized she was saying, "Give it back." I guess the trampled candy? No matter how tragic and trampled it was, this candy was Maria's. Her mother had bought it for her. No matter how tragic, it had to be this candy and no other. If only it were intact enough that it could be fixed by dusting it off. Kanon hung his head.
僕には誇りを払う程度しかできない。ごめん。
Kanon held out the miserable-looking candy Maria wanted. She took it and spoke.
ありがとう。人間には誇りしか払えないけど、魔女には元通りに直すことができるよ。ベアトリーチェなら簡単にね。
マリア様はベアトリーチェ様のことをご存知なのですか？
Except for Butler, there was no way anyone related to the Oshiramiya family could have failed to know Beatrice's name. But just now, Maria had bragged about Beatrice to Butler. She had spoken almost as though she was meeting with Beatrice regularly. Kanon felt a sharp pain inside his left hand, which was curled into a fist. In the past, a witch called Beatrice had appeared to tempt him and Shannon. He'd always try to think of it as a bad dream. Also, after those scenes we had, right? I guess Beatrice was not showing herself that much anymore to them. However, Shannon insisted that it definitely was a real witch. And then this summer, the shrine to the local Shinto god was hit by lightning, disappearing without a trace over the span of a single night. He knew about Shannon breaking the mirror, and he remembered that as the witch departed, she said she'd eventually revived. Also, I guess after that little shrine there broke, she didn't appear anymore. And now this girl, who believed absolutely in Beatrice, spoke as though she'd met Beatrice herself. Kanon couldn't suppress a vague sense of war bonding welling up in his heart. For a while, Maria remained silent, as though she could see into Kanon's heart, almost as though she was waiting for a memory of Beatrice to be revived. And then she spoke as though it was a fact.
マリアはね、ベアトリーチェとお友達なの。今日だって会って一緒に遊ぶよ。
遊びますか？
うん。遊ぶよ。一緒にね、魔法のお勉強をするの。
The face of that witch whom Kanon had tried to pretend was a bad dream began to slowly creep into the back of his mind.
お父様は研究で大変ご多忙と仰せです。残念ながらこちらへはおいでになれないとのことです。
やれやれ。こちとら秋の大忙しの中、日程をつけてはるばる六軒島まで来てるんだぜ。親父も少しは愛想をよくしてもらいたいもんだぜ。
ほんとよね。南條先生、本当に研究や機嫌の問題なの？ベッドから起き上がれないくらいに容体が悪いって言うんじゃないの？
さて、どうでしょうかな。私の口からは何とも。
Nanjo glanced at Natsuhi. It seemed as he thought it wasn't his place to speak without first getting Natsuhi's approval.
お父様はますますにご健康でいらっしゃいます。寝たきりなどと失礼極まりない。でも余命3ヶ月なんでしょ？
But yeah, Natsui's the only one. I just not really noticed, but Natsui is the only one who talks to Kinzo, at least right in the first episode. Yeah, no one really talked to him. I mean, the servants, yes, but as in family itself, it was only Natsuhi, right?
普通に考えれば、痩せ衰えてベッドからも起きられないはずよ。でしょ、南條先生？
波の患者ならそうでしょうがな。金蔵さんは並外れた気力をお持ちです。あの気迫にお迎えも恐れて近寄れないのかもしれませんな。
Frightened even the Reaper.
それほどまでにお元気なら少なくとも安心ね。
そこまで元気ならせめて挨拶くらいはさせてほしいもんなんだがな。親族会議ってのは親父の顔を見に来たって意味なんだぜ。これじゃあ何のために来たのかわからねえぜ。
そう言うな。いればいたで心が休まらないといつもぼやくのだろうが。兄弟一同水入らずで今年も全員欠けることなく集まれたことを喜ぼうじゃないかね。
昨年の親族会議でも会えなかったのよ。血を分けた子供たちが2年ぶりに挨拶したいというのがどうして理解してもらえないのかしら。
挨拶の言葉があるのでしたら私どもがお伝えします。それともエヴァさん、何かお父様にお会いして挨拶以上のお話でもあられるのですか？
いやね、何の話よも
う。予算かエヴァ。夏井さん、堪忍な。エヴァも娘としてお父さんの病状が不安なだけなんや。ちょいと気持ちを汲み取ってな。
その通りだな。エヴァは親父殿が嫁を宣告されてから急に親孝行をするようになったじゃないか。なるほど。その姿をぜひ見てもらいたいという気持ちもわからなくない。
何が言いたいのよ。
よせよ姉貴。晩飯までには機嫌を直してくれるよう祈ろうじゃねえか。それに俺たちは到着したばかり。まずは軽く挨拶に訪れただけだぜ。親族会議は親父抜きだってできる。いや、兄弟で意見を統一してからじゃなきゃ話せねえことだっていろいろあるはずだぜ。な、秀吉兄さん。
秀吉兄さん？
そうや。ルドルフ君の言う通りや。わしらが全員顔を揃えるのは年に一度しかない。貴重な時間を大事にし、汚い話し合いをせんといかん。
Even though the tea hadn't yet arrived, they were very determined.
でもその前に本家の素晴らしい調度品に囲まれた客間でのんびりと紅茶を楽しむゆとりがあってもいいんじゃないかしら。
Kyrie's word seemed to contain a suitable admonition directed at everyone gathered there. They all understood, and as they cleared their throats and straightened their neckties, the atmosphere in the room returned to normal for a time.
失礼します。お茶をお持ちいたしました。
よー、シャノンちゃん。ますますべっぴんさんになったな。
Shannon entered the parlor, pushing the serving cart. Everyone decided to relax and enjoy some black tea for the time being. A wonderful aroma began to spread throughout the room. As far as anyone could see, the strained atmosphere from before Shannon's arrival seemed like a lie. Of course, Shannon, who was setting out the tea, probably didn't even notice. Kyrie seemed to laugh faintly at how adult everyone was suddenly acting, sorry. Rudolph didn't like it when Kyrie took the initiative and spoke at the family conference. It was his worthless male pride. He probably didn't want to look like a weak man who took advice from his wife. She understood that and did her best to refrain from saying any more than necessary. So she separated herself from the circle of siblings who only superficially appeared to be enjoying some time together alone and casually drank her tea near the window.
あら、ローザさん。兄弟で水入らずなのでは？
ご冗談を。
ごめんなさい。気を悪くしないで。うちの夫に呆れてるだけだから。
Apparently Rosa hadn't been able to keep up with Dad on the surface friendliness. They'd come here to fight bloodily and dirtily, each trying to grab a part of the inheritance for themselves. She probably didn't like suddenly pretending that they were all chummy. Or maybe she was so immature for that.
だいぶ風が出てきているようですね。枝葉があんなに揺れて。
もう台風が近くまで来ているのでしょうね。今夜あたりからはだいぶ降るのかしら。
マリアちゃん、この1年で随分立派になりましたね。
そう見えます？未だに自分のお洋服を畳むことすらできないんですよ。
ええ。こんなにも愛情たっぷりなお母さんと一緒なんですもの。心の豊かな子に成長しますよ。
Rosa fell silent. Maybe she wasn't sure as to what Kyrie meant by that.
私なんて母親失格ですよ。子に生まれる親は選べない。あの子がかわいそうで。
お互い様じゃないですか。親だって生まれる子は選べない。
I mean, yeah, it's kind of true though. But yeah, as a parent though, you must be much more patient. Yes. And yeah, you need to be accepting much more. Rosa bit her lower lip.
どちらが悪いとかじゃなくて、一緒に生きていくんだという気持ちで、ゆっくり成長を見守ってあげればいいじゃないですか。ローザさんは毎日をマリアちゃんと過ごしてるから、小さな変化に気づかないかもしれないけれど、1年ぶりに再会した私たちには、その大きな成長ぶりがよくわかりますよ。
もし本気で言ってくれてるならありがとうございます。それでは失礼いたします。ご用がありましたらいつでもお呼びつけください。
Shannon bowed politely and left the room. As did Yoshi and Rudolph, who had a soft spot for women, watched her go. The atmosphere in the room began to revert back to what it had been right before the Shannon's visit.
お父様がいらっしゃられないなら、それはそれでできる話もあるというものよ。ねえ、ルドルフ？
ああ、そうだな。俺たちははるばるここまで埃の匂いがする紅茶を飲みに来たわけじゃねえぜ。
よかろう。1秒を争ってお前たちがしたいという話を聞こうじゃないか。
やれやれ。たくましい人たちね。早速始めたわ。
私も加わらないといけないわ。あの人たち、私が主張しないと4人兄弟であることをすぐ忘れるから。
あなたも大変ね。ちょっと言葉を選ばなかったかしら。ごめんなさい。
ううん、気にしてません。こちらこそごめんなさい。私たち互いに娘を持つ母親同士なんだから、もっと交流しなきゃいけないのに。
Oh yeah, I mean, Kiri has a daughter as well, right? Butler's, what do you call this? Half sister. Yeah, we haven't seen her sister yet, or his sister. I mean.
いつも会えば変な話ばかりで。
この屋敷の空気のせいよ。ここの空気を嗅ぐと、いっつも私たちはギスギスし合ってるもの。ローザさんとは親族会議じゃない席で、一度ゆっくりお茶でも飲みたいわ。銀座に行きつけの素敵な喫茶店があるの。ぜひ今度招待させて。
ありがとう、キリエさん。その時はぜひ。
いやね。急に空が暗くなってきたわ。まるでこの部屋の人たちが天気を悪くしてるみたい。もうゴロゴロ鳴ってるわ。あら、ぽつりと来たかしら。
There were really small splashes of rain on the glass of the parlor window. The weather seemed to have worsened faster than I expected. Just then a silent thunderbolt struck inside Rosa's head, and she remembered that her beloved child was out in the rose garden. A normal girl would try to go inside if the weather got bad. But Maria was different. Yeah, she was stubborn. She's gonna stay there. She would sometimes get stubborn and refuse to move if rain or even spears fell from the sky. That's right. I told that child to just stay there doing that forever, didn't I? Everyone looked back at Rosa when she let out a small scream.
なんだ、どうしたんだね。
ごめんなさい。ちょっと表に行ってきます。すぐ戻ります。
なんだなんだ、どうしたってんだあいつ。
いいじゃない。すぐ戻るわよ。それより始めたら？私たちの本題。
そうね。ローザ抜きでも進められる話よ。話を戻しましょう。
Rosa dashed from the entrance hall into the rose garden. When she opened the door, the wind that hit her was too strong to be called a light breeze and told her the typhoon was approaching faster than she thought. Just as Kiri had said, the wind has mixed in with small droplets of rain. There was also a low rumble of thunder. It could start raining anytime. Rosa headed for the rose garden. She headed for a place where she had scolded Maria a short while ago. It was almost lunchtime. The children had been told to come to the mansion around lunchtime, so they were probably in the guest house waiting to be called. Even if Maria didn't come to them, they would surely think I took her to the mansion with me and wouldn't worry much. After all, she had been with her mother, so there should have been no reason to worry. I was there, and I abandoned my daughter to the worsening weather. I was right. She was still standing stuck still, exactly the same way she had been, in the place where I had scolded her. Held in her hand was the candy that I'd bought, given her, and then stepped on and crushed. With that gripped in her hands, she stood there as the powerful winds whipped her hair about, tormenting her. So yeah, we're back to this again. So it's pretty much a cycle for her, right? It's okay, and then she fights with Maria, hits her, and then later she's gonna say sorry. And then yeah, the cycle repeats infinite times.
ごめんね、マリア。ママを許して。
ママ、おかえり。マリア、ママが帰ってくるのずっと待ってた。怖い魔女につねられたけど我慢してママが帰ってくるの泣かずに待ってた。マリア、ママを許して。ママを許して。ママは悪くないの。また悪い魔女に取りつかれただけなの。だから平気。ママ大好き。愛してる。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。悪い魔女に負けた。ママを許して。
Rosa buried her face in Maria's small chest, crying and begging forgiveness. And once again, those tears dripped down after who knows how many times. If only the brilliant sun had been shining on the two of them, all of their cares would have evaporated and it might have felt like they could begin anew. However, what surrounded the two of them was the worsening weather. Sadly, there were only fierce winds with occasional thunder. The sound of Maria sniffling brought Rosa to her senses. If Maria stood exposed to the wind for too long, she'd probably catch a cold.
さあ、マリア。もうすぐお昼よ。ママと一緒にお屋敷に行きましょう。行かない。どうして？
Rosa thought that she'd already received Maria's forgiveness, so she hadn't imagined Maria would refuse. But that expression on Maria's face didn't look like that of a child resisting her mother. So Rosa couldn't understand why Maria wanted to stand still pointlessly as the weather grew even worse. Maria answered that question.
ベアトリーチェがね、もうすぐ来るの。だから待ってるの。
Maria.
Don't tell me she's gonna get angry again and smack her. She just said sorry. Rosa struggled to find the words for a moment, then fell silent. They'd only just managed to make up after all. She chose her words carefully, trying to get Maria to come with her to the mansion without denying the witch outright.
ベアトリーチェが来るの？さあ。なら、ここじゃなくて、お屋敷の中で待ちましょう。いつまでもこんな風の中にいたら、風邪をひいてしまうわ。来る！ベアトリーチェは来る！そしたらね、ベアトリーチェにね、お菓子あげるの。トリックアトリートするの。ジャック・オーランタンのマシュマロお菓子あげて、ハッピーハロウィーンって言うの。
Maria pulled yet another sweet out of her handbag, moaning, "Ooh." Rosa was bewildered and didn't know what to do as Maria started being difficult again. At the time, there was a sudden blast of thunder. It was probably a sign that this island had been sealed off by the storm, detached from common sense and reality. So after this moment, all common sense would probably cease to apply. The wind blew even stronger, and amidst that blizzard of scattered rose petals, a figure appeared, leaving Rosa unable to imagine that this was a scene from reality. It was definitely fantastical. After all, the shadow of the person was... The She actually appeared. Oh my god. But yeah, I wanted this though, but... Jesus Christ. What's she wearing, by the way? Isn't this like Jessica's clothes? Yeah, Jessica looks like that, right? Let me see here. Jessica. Yeah, it's Jessica's clothes. Literally her clothes, right? Without the... what do you call it? The purple stripe. Maria dashed over to the shadow. Normally Rosa would scold her daughter if she dashed over to someone whom she hadn't seen before and didn't know. But Rosa forgot to do that and was unable to do anything but stand there stunned. I mean, anybody would be stunned when you see Beatrice, right? You've seen this legend? Legend of the Witch in Rokkenjima, the Golden Witch, the one in the painting, and suddenly this witch is in front of you just like that, right? Of course you're gonna be stunned, yeah.
久しぶりよ。元気であったか？
マリアは元気。魔女は風邪をひかない。
魔女は呪いにて風邪をひかせはするが、自らがひいてはなんとも間抜けな話よ。せいぜい自らが風邪をひくことなどないよ。これからも精進するがいい。
She patted Maria's head as she said this, smiling roguishly. Rosa couldn't have known the name of the woman who was amply spoiling Maria. However, Maria had called it out in the beginning when the woman appeared. So even though Rosa had never met her, even though the woman still hadn't introduced herself, Rosa was able to know her name. However, that name held a special meaning in Rokkenjima and in the Ushiromiya family. Yeah, she's basically a legend, right? And then she's suddenly here. There's no way something that stupid could be.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
ほう、これをわらわにとな。天国にも地獄にも行けず、煉獄の闇にてさまよう男の唯一の明かりも、こうして歌手となれば実に可愛らしいことよ。人の世とも、人ならざる者との世とも切り離された今のこの島で、これほどふさわしい歌詞はないかもしれぬな。ん？マリア、それはどうしたのか？
The witch noticed a sweet Maria was grasping. It was Maria's candy which had been stomped on by Rosa until it reached its pitiful state.
おお、踏んづけて潰れちゃった。ベアとは元に戻せる？
Maria didn't go so far as to say that it was her mom who'd stepped on it. However, for some reason, when the witch saw that candy, she looked at Rosa and grinned. A chill went down Rosa's spine as though this gaze was staring straight through her.
たやすいことよ。貸すがよい。
Maria held the candy out gleefully. Rosa couldn't do nothing but watch stunned. How did this person plan to trick Maria, somehow undoing the fact that the candy had been pitifully trampled? Maria looked as though she believed it could be fixed good as new. Without real magic, there's no way such a thing could be possible.
これは見事に潰れているな。さあさあマリア、目を閉じて思い出してごらんなさい。本当はあんなにも素敵なお菓子だったから。思い出の中のお菓子はいつもふっくら。だからあなたも思い出してごらんなさい。 本当はどんなお菓子だったのか。
Along with those strange words, spoken as though singing an improvised folk song, the witch threw the sweet into thin air. Maria was closing her eyes and remembering just as the witch had told her to. Dude, I want to see Beatrice, Rosa's face. Yeah, she's not saying anything. What shape had that crushed candy really had? Therefore, only Rosa saw that scene. The sweet that had been thrown into the air burst into a gold color. No, that wasn't it. Those were golden butterflies. It scattered into several golden butterflies, and they began to gather at the witch's hand, which was held up to the sky. And as she did this, unbelievably, it returned to its beautiful original form, no different when it had been bought. Only Rosa, the witch witnessed that scene. Unable to comprehend what was occurring right before her eyes, Rosa stood with her mouth hanging open, completely forgetting to shut it.
もう目を開けてよいぞ。受け取るがよい。これでそなたの歌詞も元通りだ。
There was a stark contrast between Rosa's shock and Maria's innocent joy. Was that what the witch was laughing at? A smile floated to Beatrice's face, one different from the smile shown at Maria.
わらわの顔が何かに似ているというのか?
Beatrice's outfit is, yeah, you could say that, I mean, yeah, looks like Jessica's outfit, but you could say like a female butler, right? Wait, butler, I mean butler like Genji, right? Something like that.
そうまじまじと見られては穴も開こうぞ。
ごめんなさい。
Those words triggered something very clearly in Rosa's mind. Rosa knew this face. She knew it from the portrait of the witch. But no, wait, could this mystery woman really be?
マリア、この歌詞の代わりに、そなたにはこれを与えよう。
Oh, a letter! Oh yeah, because yeah, in episode 1, she also gave Maria a letter, right? So I guess it was Beatrice that did it, really.
手紙?
The witch pulled a western envelope from her pocket and gave it to Maria. However, when Maria made to open it, the witch stopped her.
ならぬ。それを開けるときはすぐに訪れるが、それまで決して開けてはならぬ。大事に持っているがよい。そなたを黄金鏡へいざなう招待状となろう。大事にしまっておくのだぞ。誰にも見せてはならぬ。
守る。魔女との約束は絶対に守る。
そしてこれはそなたへだ。
She probably hadn't imagined that the witch would speak to her too. Rosa was bewildered by the second western envelope, which was thrust before her. Also, Rosa gets another envelope. She'd seen this type of envelope before. There could be no mistake. It was one of Kinzo's special envelopes used when he wrote with his own hand and bearing the Oshinomiya family crest. It was sealed with red sealing wax. And furthermore, it had a mark that seemed to have been made by the head's ring. In other words, even without asking what was inside this letter, Rosa knew that this woman, whom Maria called Beatrice, was trusted enough to be placed in charge of a personal letter of the current Oshiromiya head.
4兄弟の誰でもよかった。だが、ここでそなたと出会ったということは、金蔵のルーレットがそなたを選んだということなのだろう。ならば受け取るがよい。そしてその中身を全兄弟の揃う晩餐の席上で読み上げよ。
Sorry. Rosa looked back and forth several times between the witch's face and the envelope that had been handed to her. Today was the family conference, and the biggest object of discussion would be the inheritance problem. So she had joined together with Ava and Rudolph, and they planned to force certain conditions onto Kraus to try and extort several 100 million yen cash out of him. It was if the witch could see through all of that. What does she intend to do? Announce? Or intend to announce when all of us siblings are gathered? And with a personal envelope that no one but the Oshiromiya head can use.
マリア、天気が崩れるぞ。ゲストハウスへ戻り、昼を待つがよい。それではローザ、後ほど会おう。その席で改めて名乗らせてもらおうぞ。
The witch turned her back to her, laughing, and then she began to head towards the mansion with an air of composure. Maria energetically called out and watched her go, and then began to dash towards the guest house, leaving Rosa behind, as though she wanted to inform the other cousins of her unfortunate meeting with the witch as soon as she could. At last, Rosa was left alone in the rose garden as the winds grew stronger. Unable to do anything but pray that what had happened was just a daydream. So it was the opposite that happened. Now Rosa is the one here. In the rain. But it was insane though. Beatrice is right here. She's in the main story, She's literally right there. When the witch reached the entrance hall, Genji could be seen there. Genji welcomed the guests approaching from the entrance hall with a respectful bow. Also, Genji knows that she's here. I have been waiting. Okay.
久しぶりだな、Genji.
Why is Beatrice's model here so big compared to the other characters, right? You saw Rosa's model and now Genji's model. Look at them. Like, Beatrice's model, too big. Her face, right?
老いたではないか。
どれほどに老いようとも、家具は家具らしく、最後までお務めを果たすのみでございます。
あれの妻が、お前に嫉妬したことも懐かしい。金蔵は元気か？
大変お元気にございます。
ふん。
The witch probably laughed because she knew Kinzo's own doctor had announced that Kinzo didn't have long to live. However, if anyone actually looked at Kinzo and noticed his vigor, which wasn't at all what you'd expect from someone nearing the end of his life. True though, right? Whenever he talks, it doesn't look like he's gonna die in 3 months, right? Like, it looks like he's just okay, yeah. They might easily call it doing extremely well. Maybe that's what the witch was laughing at.
挨拶に行こうではないか。30年ぶりに、互いに呪いの言葉を吐き合うもよかろう。
As the witch grinned, she started walking, leaving Genji behind. Her gait was like that of a family member who knew the inside of the mansion well. Genji followed her in the manner of one who served her. At the time, Akiri came out of the parlor. She'd probably gone out to fix her makeup or something. And when she saw Genji following a witch, she was surprised, although her expression did not change. So I guess Kyrie just noticed, I guess. And she was like, who? I guess where Kinzo had arrived, despite him being almost dead on the day of the family conference when the fate of the inheritance was to be decided. And furthermore, this person was familiar enough with the Oshiromiya family household that Genji was following behind her. Kiri immediately realized that this person she had never met before was deeply important. Kiri and the witch's eyes met. Realizing that it would be rude to pretend not to notice, she greeted the witch.
はじめまして。ルドルフの5歳だったか。
さようでございます。ルドルフ様の今の奥方様であられます。キリエ様でございます。
This is so cool. The main characters are meeting Beatrice in person, right? From this exchange, Kiri realized that this was a guest of fairly high rank, even amidst the Oshiromiya family. And the fact that this was a guest on that level, coupled with her resemblance to the portrait in the entrance hall, made Kiri's eyes instantly open wide, I mean. Sorry. She's gonna go back to her. Oh my god, it changed though. What? Did the portrait change?
はじめまして。キリエと申します。初対面でしょうか。もし以前に挨拶をしていたなら、名前を忘れてしまって申し訳ございません。
うすうすは想像がついているくせに、わらわにあえて名乗らそうというのか。
Kiri thought she'd given a sociable and humble greeting. Her expression grew slightly cloudly at the openly oppressive response. At any rate, this didn't seem to be a person she could grow to like. But if Kiri's guesses were correct, this witch probably held a vital key to what her own husband was most interested in. Something that couldn't help but influence the night's family conference. So without shooting back at the retort, Kiri silently watched her go up the stairs to the second floor with Genji following behind. Okay, what was that? So when someone tapped her shoulder from behind, she was so surprised she almost choked. It was Natsuhi.
Kirie-san?
Kiri is gonna be like, Natsuhi, did you see that? Did you see that? I just saw this person right there. It was Beatrice.
このようなところに立ち尽くして、いかがなさいましたか？
ごめんなさい。ちょっと魔女の肖像画に見とれていただけです。
黄金の魔女、ベアトリーチェですか。今日の後宮家の復興は、彼女が授けた黄金がなければ成し遂げられなかったとか。お父様らしい幻想的なお話ですね。
Natsuhi spoke in a perfectly ordinary way. It was a sort of comment you'd expect from someone convinced that the thought of a witch existing was ridiculous and no more than another of Kinzo's ramblings. However, for some reason, that point of view didn't seem quite right to Kirie now. Just a moment ago, she herself had seen the Golden Witch come in from the entrance hall and climb up the stairs. So Natsuhi's words made it to feel as though someone was trying to deny the existence of that person. Or else make it seem like she was never there to begin with. True.
ごめんなさい。
Oh, she's gone now, right?
少し頭痛がする気がして、ちょっと休もうと思います。
But yeah, she's real as it gets though. Yeah. I guess right now they're just like, did I actually see that or am I just seeing things, right? But yeah, Rosa saw her and now Kirie and then Genji's acknowledging her as well, right? So she's definitely there.
あら、そうですか？
Maybe later when we actually like see her and then everyone is gathered and then she still shows herself and then now they will realize that oh she's actually here.
なら良い頭痛薬がありますよ。用意させましょう。
Alright, what do we have next? Kinzo. The hallway in front of Kinzo's study was filled with a scent of sweet poison peculiar to that green liquor. Genji, who was completely used to it, did not grimace. And the Golden Witch did not grimace either.
この中からどれほど出ぬのか。
すでに数年になるかと思います。
それほどまでにわらわをカゴの鳥としたいか。哀れな。それを願うそなたが今やカゴの鳥。書斎の亡霊ではないか。それに気づけぬとは哀れな男よ。
あなた様と再びお会いする日までは、おそらく文字通り亡霊となっても研究を続けられるでしょう。
愛か狂気か猛襲か。それも講じれば魔力となるか。悲しき魔術師よ。
The witch grasped the doorknob to the study. When she did, there was a sound like that of flesh burning and splitting open. Oh yeah, because yeah, they showed it. They showed it in the first episode, right? There was this markings in the door. So that's why Maria said they will be very, very safe in there, right? But it's nice seeing it like this though. It activating because yeah, the witch held it. It was the sound of the doorknob literally burning the witch's hand.
ベアトリーチェ様。
なんだこれは。魔除けか。
Look at her eyes.
あやつめ。こんなものに頼らなければ、おのがみも保てぬというのか。
その扉は、ベアトリーチェ様にはおつらいものと伺っております。私がお開けいたしましょうか。
いや、よい。あやつが勝てば、わらわは永遠のカゴの鳥。あやつが負ければ、愛に狂い、すべてを失った哀れな魔術師の生涯が、笑い草となって残るだけ。もはや金蔵もわらわさえも、ゲーム盤に並べられた駒に過ぎぬ。あとは、ルーレットの目が勝敗を分けるだけよ。ルーレットが目を見せるまで、わらわと金蔵が再会する必要はない。
The witch looked at her hand, which was beginning to heal bit by bit, even though it had been horribly injured or burned.
あるいは、そのための魔除けなのか。なるほど。それもまた潔し。すべては今や、金蔵のゲーム盤の上よ。気に入ったぞ、金蔵。そなたとのゲーム、楽しませてもらうぞ。わらわに恋焦がれ、すべての生涯を投げ出したローマ術師の最後のギャンブル。
Gamble. Okay, that was a very, very nice, interesting chapter there. Beatrice really showing herself, right?
誰か。
Okay, let's take a break here. The witch's move, but yeah, very, very interesting. She actually like showed herself here. So this is nice though, right? That she's doing this. I guess, for example, in the first episode, we didn't really see anything, right? Who was doing this, who was doing that, all of those stuff, right? So with Beatrice and Butler, yeah, from the other, let's say other side, battling out, right? Talking about, oh, this this had to be made by humans. And then Beatrice saying, oh no, it was a witch. It was I who did it. And now we're seeing Beatrice really in the story here now, right? I mean, she was talking to Shannon and Cannon last time, right? But with this one, her really talking with Ushirimiya family members in the island. Genji acknowledging her like that. She's really here. So yeah, this is gonna be very fun. I actually cannot predict what is gonna happen with this episode now. Now that she showed herself like this, right? I mean, I think maybe what do you call this? I thought when we were going through this, I thought maybe she would appear to them, like let's say one by one, and then yeah, she would kill them, or she would just appear to them when they were on their own, right? To show like doubt into people, like, oh, did I really see her? Right? But now she's showing herself to multiple people, and it's not like they are by themselves. Like with Rosa there, Maria was there as well, and then when Kyrie was there, Genji was there. So people could say like, oh, we really did see her, right? But let's see next episode. I can't wait for her to show herself to like I guess the other one's like Ava. Yeah, Kraus, Ava. Like the top tier or the top rank of the Ushirimiya family. This is going to be very interesting. So anyways, we are going to continue this and do more of Umineko When They Cry episode 2 in the next one. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye bye.